Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amit and in this video I will be explaining you what is JMeter and why we are using JMeter and how in simple ways we can create a framework in JMeter without having the knowledge of code. So what we can do is directly go to Google and you can install Apache JMeter. Once it is installed, you can just go to the bin folder and the bin folder you can just click on jmeter.bat. So as soon as you click on this UI will be shown to you. So this is the UI of JMeter. It looks little bit like which is not understandable, but it is very simple. If you just try to use it 1 to 2 times, you will be getting familiar with this. So once you open this, you'll be having the menu bar where you will be able to see multiple icons, which even if you are not aware what is the purpose of each and every icon, then also it is fine. So I'll just give you the idea of what these icons are used for. For example, the second one, green one, this is for the templates. If you click on this, you'll be getting the ready-made template provided by the JMeter. You can use it and on the basis of that template, you can do whatever testing you want. Then if you go this green button, this is for executing. And second green button is for execution, but it will not consider any of the time gap between that. Means it will be executed without any pause. And this is a broom. It will clean your report. Whatever report has been generated, it will clean it. And the second one is it will clean all the reports. So that is only the 4 5 basic icons which will be required. So let's start with our framework. It is very simple thing. What you can do, already there is on the left side you will be able to see test plan. So you need to create a test plan on basis of which you can do the testing. So whatever you want, you can just give the name over here. And after that, you can just right click on this. There is an add option. So if you go to the add, it will be asking you to add the threads. So basically threads are the number of users. So let's say if you want to test any application where 10 users logged in at the same time and how the system behaves. So that is the purpose of thread. So you can just click on thread and then you can add thread group. So once this thread group is added, then you can add the number of threads you want. That means number of users you want. Let's say we want 2 users. Then the second option is ramp up period. So ramp up period is something like the how much time within how much time period the 2 users should be logged in. So we have 2 users, so they should log in within 2 seconds. Means 1 second for one user. And this is the loop where how many time you want to execute the particular script. So it can be infinite time, 1 time, 2 times. Let's say we want to execute it for 2 times. So now our thread group and configuration is done. Now second thing is, second will what we will do, we will add the configuration element. So what is the configuration element? This is the kind of like main files which you will be requiring throughout the complete execution. So let's say if you are testing any of the API, you will be requiring header, you will be requiring cookie, or there is a particular website which you need to visit each and every time. So you can just go on this and click on header manager. Then you can add config element cookie manager. Similar way you can add this HTTP request default. This means this is the actual website or IP which we will be testing. So let's say we have a very good example of this reqres.in. So most from the testing communities, they might be aware of this URL. So you can just copy it and paste it over here. It means we are testing this particular endpoint, request response.in. So make sure there should be only the actual the domain or IP we can say. There should not be the protocol what we are using. So what you can do, you can just add the protocol over here like HTTPS. That's it. Okay. So we have added it. Now we don't have to add any path because we are just creating the framework. So as we have added this one, now what we need to do is we need to find the list of users. We need to test this API. That's how it is working. The finding list of users API, what is its performance and how it is responding. So what we will do, we will just right click, we will add it. Then we are having the option to add sampler. So let's say the sampler can be for anything. It can be for website testing. You can take HTTP request. It can be even FTP request, it can be database related JDBC, LDAP, anything can be added. So we are testing the web application API, so it will be HTTP request. So as soon as you come on this HTTP request, it will be asking server. So we don't have to add any server over here because already we have added the server details in request default. It means whatever methods you are adding, steps you are adding, this will be constantly executing. So now if you go to HTTP request, we can just find list of users. So we will just copy this path. Once it is copied, add it in the this path option, and which method it is, we need to find the list of users, right? So it will be the get. So you can select any of the method from this. So for me it is get, and apart from this we don't need to add anything. The only thing is we are passing the parameter over here, which is page number equal to 2. So parameter you can add from here. At the bottom there is add button, you click on this, you type over here page and the value, key is page and value is 2. It means it will hit this particular API and it will find out all the users who are like located on the page number 2. That's it. This is the API what we needs to test. Okay, so now what we can do is, so this is our high level like framework. So apart from this, what you can do now, let's say if you want to add some time gaps between the execution, so you can go to add, there is a timer option over here, and the timer you can select any kind of timer. You can just explore it as per your requirement. So as of now for time being, like I'm taking uniform random timer. So for this, the delay will be like 100 milliseconds for every request. This is one thing. Now second thing is, let's say if we are executing particular script, then there we can add any kind of assertions. We need to verify something whether we are getting the proper response or not. If it is proper response, we'll pass it. If it is not proper, we'll fail it. So JMeter has given very good option of adding assertions. So there are multiple assertions, out of which the one assertion I will take is response assertion. So in response assertion, what it will happen? It will just, you can use any of the fields from this and you can verify it. Let's say for example, I need to verify response code. I will check whether response code is 200 or not. That's it. If it is 200, it will be passed. So now I will just add over here what I want the response 200. And if the response is not 200, you can just give the message over here, failure message, incorrect response. That's it. That is a pretty simple way. We have added the assertion over here. Now what we need to do? Now third thing is, after execution we need to check how is our execution. We just want the report and then we can just submit it to the client. So you can just click on this. We have option listener. So in listener there are multiple options which you can use for the reporting purpose. Let's say we want summary report. We have added summary, or let's say if we need something else, even we can go for this results tree. So there are multiple like options which you can add. On the basis of that listeners, you can just create the report and you can send it to the client. So at the high level, if you see, we have got the our API what we need to test. We have passed the parameters, we have added the timer, we have added the assertion, we have added the format in which a report should be generated, and even this header cookie, that all request details also we have added. Now what we'll do, we'll just try to execute it once. So you, what you can do is you can just click on this run button. So as soon as you run, it will ask whether it has to be saved or not. So as per your requirement, you can save it or you can ignore it. So as soon as we executed it, you can see over here at the top. Here the actual execution count will be shown to you, but as of now our count was threads were less, so it was executed in very less amount of time. So as you can see here, 4 samples were executed, and what was the average time, minimum time, max time, in the error in the execution, throughput, all we were able to see here. Now if you want to see it in little bit detailed, so again you can go to another listener. This is results tree. So here the request is there, what response you have got, that also you can check over here. This is a response data. So this we were having 2 threads and we have executed for 2 loops. So total there are 4 execution, right? So in this way you can just use any API, you can add any kind of method and you can just process it. This is the basic way of creating the framework, and then you can explore it from your end. For example, if you want to check the API for creating users, so what you can do is just you can click over here, add sampler HTTP request. So now next HTTP request is for creating the users. So we'll take that API. This is the create user API. So we'll just take this path. We'll add the path over here. We'll change the method to post. We can rename it, the name of the request, create user. Okay. Now we need to pass some of the parameters, right? Yeah, means some body we need to pass for creating the user. So we can just copy it from here. This is our body. You can go to the body data. You can paste it over here. That's it. It is done. Now, if you want, you can just explore it. You can add the assertion to it. Any kind of assertion, response assertion for creating any record. The response should be 201. So you add it over here. If response is 201, our script is pass. If not, then it will be fail. So similar way you can just add multiple requests, multiple APIs, and you can test it. Okay. So now for us we are having two APIs, one for getting list of users and second for creating the user. So we'll just try to run it, and now we'll check, like, if you want to clear this, like all the water the logs got generated for our previous run, you can just click on this brush. It got cleared, but you will see it will be not clear for other listeners. So if you want to clear for all the listeners, you can just click on this double brush. See, everything got cleared. So now we'll just execute it again. So you can see over here even the time, like how many instances were executed, it was shown over here. So this were our like total 4 requests which got executed. So in this way just we can like explore it and we can play with it. That's it, guys. So this was the basic idea of how JMeter works. And if you want like detailed video, you can just comment on the video, and then I'll be trying to create something else which can be beneficial for you. Thanks for watching the video. Do like and subscribe the channel for motivation.